Πώς κρίνετε τη στάση της ελληνικής πολιτείας στην περίοδο της κρίσης απέναντι στον ασφαλιστικό τομέα? Έπρεπε να στηρίξει τις ελληνικές εταιρείες όπως έκαναν άλλες χώρες?
Well, in my opinion, the problem is totally different. Mainly in other countries, and I would say Western Europe at least, we can have a specific word on AIG, which is really something quite specific. But I mean, in Western Europe, generally speaking, companies are solvent or were solvent, and solvency was closely monitored by supervisors. Well, in Greece, the situation was a bit different. So the issue regarding solvency was not caused by the financial turmoil. Of course, the financial turmoil accelerated the problem. So, well, from my point of view, the Greek government has taken, well, the appropriate measures, and when I say the Greek government, I'm mainly speaking about the supervisor, EPA, although EPA is totally independent from the political authorities. So, you know better than I do that supervision was migrated from one ministry, the one of development, to the Ministry of Finance early this year. And I have to say that EPA did, in my opinion, an excellent job. They did an excellent job, first of all, structurally, although we still have a lot to do in our common shop. I mean, they took measures which are not very well known by the public, but which are quite critical, in order to have the supervisor getting the appropriate transparency and level of understanding on the figures of insurance companies. So meaning that under the new regulation we have to deliver all the industry quarterly very detailed figures, and with those figures, providing they have the appropriate workforce, and they also progressed in this sense, they really can have a good understanding of what is going well and what is going less well. And also they can have a very good understanding on the evolution of claims and of claims provisions, which definitely was the main issue in the past on the Greek market, with heavy misprovisioning. So, first of all, they took the appropriate steps in order to have the correct vision and the correct perception. Then they took some measures against specific insurance companies. Well, they started in the beginning with smaller ones, and so the big question mark was is if they would have the guts to tackle bigger cases, which finally they did. And in this sense, of course, the turmoil had an influence, because some companies of which the agreement has been withdrawn had a policy of cash flow underwriting. I mean, cash flow underwriting, you can go on and you can face heavy misprovisioning of your accounts, providing you grow, meaning that you need to have the ability to get a lot of fresh money on the market in order to cover liabilities from the past for which you don't have the money in your accounts. And of course, it was possible in the past for some of them, and it totally changed with the turmoil, because there was an issue regarding the trust of customers, meaning customers, you know, seeing stocks collapsing and so on, ask their money back. And so this capacity of getting fresh money from the market and having a positive cash flow, meaning getting more money out, money in that you have to pay as money out, well, turned around and the cash flow became negative. And of course, when you don't have the provisions and that you face a negative cash flow, by definition you die. So I consider that, well, globally, the job done by EPA until now is excellent. Definitely they've done more than all supervisors over the last 25 years, maybe. And so I want to formally express my respect for what they did. And of course, I wish that they go on. And I want to be clear in order to explain that wish. You know, people can think that the objective of companies claiming for implementation of solvency want to limit competition and to have competitors out of the market. That's not the case. What we want is to have unfair competitors out of the market. What we want is to have the same rules applied to all insurance companies on the market, having a common playing field. Because what comes first, and I mean what is the first mission of our industry, it's to deliver customer expectation, meaning that in general insurance, when the claim is there, we must have the capacity to pay well and to pay quickly. In life insurance, we have the capacity to pay the capital at maturity. We need to have the capacity, if it's about hospitalization, there also to pay quickly and well. And in order to have this capacity, we need, as an industry as a whole, and every insurance company separately, we need to be solvent. And so this solvency has to be enforced in order, and as a first condition, to have customers trusting us, which, as of today, is not yet the case. And so, even though people can believe short-term that, well, the case with the last companies is creating problems and so on, well, definitely, the supervisor is enforcing the first critical condition in order to have our industry evolving, which is important short-term, but is even more important medium and long-term, because it has been proved in almost all big countries, including United States, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, I mean, all those countries that, well, one of the main challenges of the future is pension, that public budgets cannot face this issue on their own, and so that close cooperation is needed between public pension and private pension insurance. And in this respect, of course, solvency is critical, because if private companies do not have the capacity at the end, at maturity, to pay the capital, social catastrophes will be created. And so solvency is really the key of our industry, because insurance is really connected with crucial issues in people's lives. And so from there, it's a concept with which you cannot play. And so from there, what EPA did was definitely what they had to do. And they did it the proper way.
Εν μέρει απαντήσατε στην επόμενη ερώτησή μου. Θα πρέπει η ΕΠΕΙΑ να συνεχίσει με την ίδια πολιτική?
No doubt.